Hey guys, I'm Haley Epworth, and welcome to the BMB YouTube channel. So this weekend, the BMB students are participating in the STN virtual convention. As you can see, we were supposed to be in Long Beach, California, but obviously COVID unfortunately took that away from us just for a little bit, but don't worry, we'll be on this travel next year. So all over the weekend, we are going to be posting all of our projects that we do through this convention. And today, we worked on our Crazy 8's morning show. And just keep coming back this entire weekend to see our amazing shows that we're going to produce. So here's our Crazy 8's morning show, and just stay tuned to check it out.
Quiet on the set. 5 count.
I'm Ava Scheffler, and I have spring fever.
I'm Haley Hepworth, and I'm a fan of the arts.
And welcome to the Mepham Morning Show.
Ava, it's 5 p.m.
Tell us all this time.
No, what's going on?
True as it can be.
You need to tell me. This is getting really weird.
Okay, fine, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
The drama program here at Mepham is preparing for their spring musical. Mepham Skull and Bones has announced they will perform their rendition of Beauty and the Beast March 25th and 26th. The week before, kids in the community have the opportunity to meet and greet with the beloved characters. I will be first in line, so don't try to race me there. You will lose. Break a leg or two, and make sure to follow up with the program on their Instagram at Mepham Skull and Bones.
Ugh, I so miss the spring musical season.
Me too, honestly.
Well, Ava, unfortunately, I will not be singing my way into this story, but staying within the realm of the performing arts, there's a very special activity that lies near and dear to my heart and Ava's heart, and that is dance. Or in our school, Kickline. The Mepham Kickline team, in which Ava and I are both members of, perform at sporting events, and at the end of the season, we take the long-awaited trip to NDA Nationals in Orlando, Florida. This team is an outlet for many people to forget about what happens in their home lives, or even a bad grade on a test, and focus on their teammates for the 3 hours each day leading up to Nationals.
We truly are a family, and sometimes I really believe that we should make a reality show out of it.
That's the plot of Cheer and Dance Moms combined.
You can't tell me that doesn't sound like a $1 million TV idea.
It is.
Another $1 million TV idea, however, is listening to Tom Morrow incorporating sports into every conversation he has ever had. I wonder what he's up to right now. Let's check in with Tom for this week in sports.
Janela to the house.
Thanks, Ava. A big game for Mepham tomorrow where the 11-seeded Pirates take on 6-seeded Planet on the road. Mepham is led by Haley Guerrero, who is top 10 in scoring in Nassau County and Conference A1 Player of the Year.
I'm really honored to have contributed to my team in any way this season, and it's really great being Player of the Year against a great conference and really good players.
While the big playoff basketball game hits the hardwood of Plain Edge High School tomorrow, on March 5th is when the track state championships are set to go, where Mepham has Amacrane Achichi in the 3200 and Columbia University commit Hamill Blake in the 55-meter hurdles.
It's so amazing to see how far I've come, and I know it's going to be a challenge probably, but I think I'm definitely ready for the challenge, and I think it's just the next step in where I'm trying to go.
An exciting postseason ahead for Mepham. Now back to you guys in the studio.
It's about that time again where some of Mepham's greatest events roll in. First up was Mr. Mepham. Mr. Mepham has been a tradition here at Mepham for 13 years now, where Mepham's most voted male students compete in a pageant in efforts to raise money for the senior prom. With more on Mr. Mepham, let's hear from Mr. Mepham himself as Hannah Broxmeyer sits down with our 2022 winner.
Thanks, Ava. Mr. Mepham is an annual male beauty pageant that happened last night, and I'm joined with this year's winner, Matt Mano, who's the first junior to ever win. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Us here at BMB are normally used to seeing you cover sports for us, but who knew you could sing? Do you have more of a musical side that you like to express?
Yeah, I do. A little known fact about me, I was actually a singer before I was an athlete. I tend to sometimes hide my musical side from fear of being judged, but when I'm on stage, none of that really matters, and I really get to express myself through my music.
I don't think you should hide it anymore. So why do you think you won?
For me, I think I won because I was one of the few people who had the courage to step on the stage live and deliver a performance, and especially a musical one. When the music cut out, I was still able to persevere, I was still able to push through and deliver a great performance, and I think that's just how I live.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's a great way to live. Now that you have won, what do you plan to do with your winnings?
Well, I didn't really win much besides the bragging rights of being the first junior to ever win. The extent of my winnings really just the sash, the crown, and they're going to get hung up alongside my other 2 sashes in my room. the 2 sashes that I got from being nominated.
Well, I say those are pretty good prizes. So thank you for being here today. Now back to you guys in the studio.
As we say here at Mepham, brave the shave. And I look forward to seeing you there. You know who braved the shave last year?
Who?
Sammy Rooney. How are you doing today, Sammy?
I'm great, Haley. How are you?
I'm great, Sammy, because I know you have something very important to tell us today. Tell us a little bit about GSA.
GSA, or Gender Sexuality Alliance, is a club here at Mepham, but is a club in many other schools all over the country. It's a place where people of all genders and sexualities can feel safe expressing themselves and talk about their experiences with their identity. They spread awareness on many LGBTQIA+ issues and topics, such as HIV/AIDS and National Coming Out Day, by doing things such as posting posters up in the hallways and using social media. They also have fundraisers like selling these pronoun pins. It's a great cause, of course. Now, back to you guys in the studio.
So important. Thank you for Sammy. Haley, you know where I wish I was right now?
Ava, where is that?
Orlando, Florida.
You know, we might not be there yet, but we'll be there March 2nd. Watch out, we're taking Orlando by storm. But we do have a nice vacation coming up, and that vacation is February break. Unfortunately, this break isn't for the whole nation. It is just for us lucky people living in New York. Just for a little bit of history, in the 1970s, New York City couldn't afford the oil to heat public schools.
And man, those prices are really getting up there now. I can hardly afford to drive anymore.
Ava, that's gas and we're talking about oil.
Well, if we're getting technical, oil basically like makes gas or something. I don't know. That's what I was told. So.
Okay, well anyways, let me continue my history lesson. The Board of Education decided to make this week an experimental week for energy saving. It stuck around because who doesn't love a week off? And then years later, the teachers' union fought to keep it on the schedule. That's about 50 years of history for about a week off of school. Now that we have learned about New York, let's learn about some national news with Ryan Marr.
Thanks, Haley. I'm Ryan Marr with what's happening in national news. As today, the United States is in 3rd place in the Beijing Olympics, with 21 total medals, behind Norway and Germany. More Winter Games will take place today, so counts are likely to change. You can watch the games on NBC. The CDC recently announced that the winter mild flu season has faded to a small number of cases in much of the United States. However, between the flu and COVID, it is still important that you take precautions. Finally, Major League Baseball announced today that spring training has been pushed back to March 5th, as the league and the players are locked in the 9th work stoppage in baseball history. It's not looking good. That's all we have for today in national news. I'm Ryan Marr. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Ryan. It's springtime. Let's find out if that groundhog was lying and toss it over to Luke Melfo with this weekend's weather.
Thanks, Ava. We're here in Bellmore, gateway to Long Beach. Not the Long Beach you're at, this Long Beach, on Long Island. Today's weather was mostly sunny with a high of 43 and a low of 24, and for tomorrow, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 41 and a low of 20. These lower temperatures are due to a cold front passing over the Long Island waters. It's really not too great for everyone filming here at STN. It was raining here earlier today. Now it's not. Just like my tickets to California were here earlier this month. Now they're not. Turns out it's really hard to unburn a plane ticket, especially when they're not on paper and they're on your phone. But hey, we're still in Long Beach, gateway to Long Beach. Back to you guys in the studio.
You're saying the quote.
Okay. Now, to close off the show, today's quote of the day. Beauty without expression is boring, by Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Well, that's about it for today's BMB Morning Show.
Ava, still nighttime.
Okay. Have a beautiful day.
And night.
See you next time. Or not.